Climate change and the effects of the inclement weather patterns it brings was at the heart of the changes made to the reconstruction of a stretch of roadway on Trinidad's east coast. That was the word of Minister of Works and Transport, Rohan, as well as the technocrats at the Program for Upgrading Road Efficiency Unit, PO. More in a story compiled by Vivian Bowen.
One of the most rapidly eroding coastlines in the country is engaging the attention of the Ministry of Works and Transport in collaboration with the Program for Upgrading Roads Efficiently Unit, PURE. The project is to reconstruct segments of the Manzanilla-Mayaro stretch that was devastated by several floods in 2022, the worst in November. According to the Deputy Program Director of PURE, Mark Cooper, one of the major challenges that had to be considered in the rebuilding process was the geography of the area.
That boulder bed, as I mentioned previously, would allow for water to filter naturally between the swamp and the sea. And it's supposed to be very much more resilient to whatever the effects of climate change, the immediate effects of climate change. So if you notice, the road as well is higher. It's approximately 18 inches higher.
Mr. Cooper says the drains would be constructed in the last phase of the project when the temporary road is removed. He says that the placing of culverts at critical locations is another improvement to the roadway, expected to keep the delicate balance between the swamp and the sea.
We believe that by the end of January we should have this area completed, and it's substantially completed, and then we'll take the next 5 months to complete the balance of the that would bring us to 10 kilometers of roadway.
During the on-site visit at the Ministry of Works and Transport Agua Santa asphalt plant in Wallerfield, Minister Rohan Sinanan explains the recycling process being used to rebuild the Manzanilla Road.
Take, for instance, the entire road network in Manzanilla that have been washed away, that is being brought down here, recycled, and will go back into the construction of the new road. If you look behind us there, that stockpile where you see the big pieces of the material, that is the actual old Manzanilla road that was washed away. All is going to come here, recycle, and then go back to rebuild the entire roadway.
The minister points out that the recycling process would also have a positive impact on the environment.
Because the material has been recycled, you have a significant reduction in the amount of quarrying that has to take place going forward. Because as an island, we know the effects of quarrying and what that does to the infrastructure.
According to Mr. Cooper, the first 5-kilometer phase of the Manzanilla project should be completed by January.
Climate change does not only affect coastal areas. That is the reality Works and Transport Minister Rohan Sinanan disclosed during a site visit to the ministry's Agua Santa asphalt plant in Wallerfield on Monday. Minister Sinanan says climate change is affecting the country's entire infrastructure since most of it is over 60 years old.
When we get downpours of rainfall in Port of Spain, take for instance, or in any part of Trinidad, the infrastructure was designed for a certain amount of rainfall over a period of time. What climate change is doing to us is it increasing the volume of rain in a shorter space of time. Our infrastructure is challenged.
Sinanan gave an example of the problem. He says over time, most of the country's infrastructure will have to be changed.
That is why yesterday we were on the bus route, changing the culverts that crosses the Eastern Main Road, crosses the bus route, and then has to go all the way to find itself into the Caroni River. All these culverts have to be changed.